All right. Says that we are live. Hey, everybody, how you doing? And welcome to another version of God Talk. Brother John, and thanks for stopping by. Tonight, as many of you know, we have an exclusive interview with Lucifer. Lucifer has caused quite a little bit of a stir, I guess, among the great debate community. I found him very thought-provoking and very interesting person, and I thought I'd have him, come on here and we have a little discussion. Lucifer, I just wanted to say hello. How are you doing today?
Or I'm doing great, John.
Awesome. I must say that out of probably all the God talks that I've had, you've gotten such a great, awesome response here. So the interest is there.
Oh, that is, I'm glad to hear that.
So yes, I first caught you on one of Nadia's Hangouts, and for those who have not listened to that chat, and I'm, I'm going to probably look over some of the same questions that were posed there, as well as some other questions, and just for the sake of the audience. Um, I guess, let's start out with the obvious, the elephant in the room. Um, do you claim to be Lucifer, as spoken in the Bible? Some say Satan.
Partially, I am what is mentioned in the beginning.
What would that be? What do you mean in the beginning?
I was spoken of by my action. Let there be light.
Let there bright light. So when God says in Genesis, "Let there be light," are you saying you're the light?
It was his command to me.
Okay. Don't mind me a little, because I tend to be a little bit analytical when it comes to certain words when people speak, and um, so uh, you were you were in existence before the commandment?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Were you in existence before the commandment? Let there be light.
Yes, everything that you see was in existence before then.
Okay. Would that include us?
Yes, you are all of the same material.
Okay, so then you were saying, are you something? So you're not something. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you're not something unique from everybody, just part of everybody. So if I'm trying to understand you, you say, "Let there be light." Everything, everyone, including yourself, came to be at the same time.
No, the material that everyone is and everything is existed before then. But that was the first word spoken when there was the separation.
Hmm. Okay. Um. So I is these words in the Bible, is the Bible the Word of God?
It is mostly man's inability to understand. It's much like playing what I've heard some people call telephone.
Mm, yes. So like these stories of kind of because there is a oral tradition in especially in the Old Testament, and so yeah, the game goes as these stories are told, that some of the meaning gets lost and even the whole translation and gets misunderstood. You know.
Yes, but even more than that, it was almost uh let's say almost is not the right word. it is in large part to uh, the lack of understanding on mankind's behalf.
Hmm. Okay. Um, what would you say is the biggest misunderstanding when it comes um, to the Bible?
Do you mean to the Christian Bible, or do you mean to the Jewish Bible, or do you mean to which Bible?
We can address all three if you like.
I'd say in the Christian Bible it is the idea that you need to be saved.
Hmm. Okay. Um, and to the Jew.
It is the idea currently that the covenant is still active.
The covenant is still active.
No, it is no longer.
Oh, okay. And to the Muslim.
The biggest run is that Muhammad never spoke to God.
So when it comes to, I don't know much about the Quran at all. So I was hoping Frank will get in here soon. He is Muslim and he'll probably speak to that. So uh, um, is this the same? I guess the same situation with the Quran as well. It's misunderstood or was never.
It was more like Muhammad didn't understand himself.
Mm. Um, are you the fallen angel? Are you an angel?
Uh, that would be fair to say, Angel. There is no fallen, though.
Mm.
There is no place to be put.
But I understand. There was no place to be put.
There is only He. There is no place for Him to put us if we were to do as some think.
Mm. Now, when you say he, you speak to God, or what we call God.
Yes, and I want to clarify. I've had some people be upset with me over this. I chose the word He because you consider yourself mankind, and I figured it'd be appropriate.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you know. I come from more of a deist point of view, or more specifically a panentheist, and I do realize, especially in these debates with atheists, when the word God comes up, it's usually defined in the Judeo-Christian sense, and I know for myself I need to probably use that word less because it kind of gets boxed into that belief. Um, so I think probably for myself, more appropriately, it'd be source or creator. Um, would that be something more?
Uh,
Okay.
that would be a fair approximation, but it was not so much creation as it was reshaping.
Reshaping all that already was or is.
Yes.
Mm, mm. Yeah. This brings to mind. I find the whole creation evolution debate kind of pointless. Um, I see it that in the end, we come to a point where we just need to accept that everything just is. And that is very hard for many to accept because they need to have things defined for them and needs to have the world kind of figured out. Is that would you say that's a proper assessment?
That may be fair. It's for me and us others. It's more about deciding where you should be. The weak need the faith, and the strong can do it on their own.
Oh, that's going to stir up some. That's going to stir up some things. You know that people do not generally like to be thought of as weak. Those of the faithful.
Well, I do not know much of what you think Christ said in your Bible.
Mm,
Uh, it is very clear to me that he did speak of being meek. He always speaks of being meek.
yes. Mm. Now, I remember in the interview, you mentioned that you were 17 billion years old. Um,
Yes, point 4 is much closer, but yes.
Now, is this at the point of from Let There Be Light to now 17.4 billion?
Yes. Well, that was from that commandment to the creation of the earth. There has been time since then.
Oh, okay. Time as far as we can kind of conceive what time is.
Yes, it is sometimes difficult to give numbers, going back and forth as I do.
Mm. I'm under the impression that time is kind of an illusion, should I say. It's just a way of us to measure, you know. It's just time.
Uh, yes, it is. It is only a measurement of actions.
Mhm.
It is not a fundamental.
Mm. Um, where do you live?
The I think the best word for it would be the medium.
The medium. Could you elaborate on that?
It is correct in more than one way. There is a space between, so it is the in between, but it is also the substance, like the medium within space itself.
I'm trying to grasp that. Trying to grasp what you're saying. Hmm.
Uh, think I've had someone try to explain it after me, like a dimension within your dimension.
So, what is the purpose of your appearing now at this time?
Nadia was calling to me, and when I came, there were many apparent large coincidences, most would say, and I decided to stay and help a few individuals that asked for it.
You do realize that if anyone does a search on Google Hangouts for Lucifer, there are a load of people named Lucifer. Um, how are
Yes, but
we?
it
Yeah.
is the ones that come to me that need the help. It is not meant for everyone.
Hmm. You have interesting answers. I must say that, Lucifer. um, Lucifer is spoken in the Bible as in the book of Ezekiel and I believe in Isaiah. This seems to be a very, and I see it as a misconception of the how I see Lucifer in these instances is not Satan, if you want to say that. Would that be correct?
Yes, it is. I have done not of what the Bible speaks. If do you understand?
Yeah, hard to me understand. For someone who's been around 17 billion years. Have you uh, have you read the Bible?
No, it is not really for me to read.
Hmm. If so, how can you come to the conclusions that you spoke to a little bit earlier?
I was there for most of real, the real occurrences, but since I've been here, I've had many preached to me.
I'm sure, as have I. um, uh, um, do you know of the? I'm sure you know of the number 666
Yes, I heard of that in Nadia's Hangout.
in Nadi's Hangout. You said.
Yes, it is the writings of a man who had one too many mushrooms.
Yeah, some would say that the Book of Revelations is a bunch of hallucinations. So there's no significance to the number of 666?
No, it is his imagining.
Hmm. Um, who is God or he? Um, how and what would say be most convincing evidence for the existence of God or Creator?
Well, there's not really meant to be convincing evidence. That is not the purpose.
What would be the purpose?
It is to understand absence.
Hmm. Can you can you go further with that?
Uh, let's see. If imagine you are the only thing that is, and there is nothing but you, but there is also nothing that you are in. You just are. You understand all that is you, but what is not you?
I understand everything that is me, but not me. So, uh,
Yes, how would you understand what is not you if you have no way to know it?
but would not be creator everything? There'd be no um, not you.
Yes, but how would you create nothing?
Uh, can't create nothing. Nothing is nothing.
Exactly. If you are the only thing, how would you understand what is not you?
Does everything come from? Does everything come from source?
Yes.
I when people ask me um, to clarify my beliefs of God and tell me if this resonates with you or and how you perceive it, if this is the right way. Um, I see that if everything comes from a source, a creator, that creator kind of, and this goes to my panentheist kind of view of God, or panentheist, whichever. If everything comes from source, then everything must permeate through everything. I I usually tell people, and I think probably some Christians will get upset with me, um, or the fundamentalists, that I say that I am God having a John experience. Would that would that be accurate?
Yes, but a larger picture would be you are much more like a hair on God's skin. You are experiencing that which is not Him, but you are Him.
Experiencing that which is not him, but I am him.
Yes, so you are experiencing His absence.
Yeah, what I speak of is I don't say I am creator. Uh, probably along probably along I guess it sounds like the same way of saying it. I guess I'm not creator and creation. So is the hair the hair on God's skin, um, that would still be God, but only experiencing as hair.
Yes, but that was simile, I think is the word.
Silly, you
You are
said?
not simile.
Oh, simile. Okay.
You are not literally His hair.
No, I
But
understand.
imagine the hair on your arm. It is you, but it is out from you and experiencing what is not you, like the air.
Right, but it comes from you.
Yes.
Okay, so we're kind of on the same page. I but the hair or myself, as I say, uh, what I find is what gets in our way is our um, identities, our egos. This is what tends to divide us. Would you find that as true as well?
Yes, but I would say pride because more people would understand that.
Right.
It is largely a matter of human pride to think that they could understand all that is God.
Oh, so true. So true. And I bring up that to so many that if if we are to admittedly say that we have finite minds, how can we possibly understand the infinite?
Yes, even many times looking at his what probably avatar might be the right word.
Mm.
Did I ask question and only received a stone face? I don't always understand either.
Mm. Who is I'm sorry, I'm just looking over a little bit of my notes here. Oh, um, in the Garden of Eden, you mentioned in Nadi's Hangout that um, not this, you're not the serpent, but the apple or the fruit.
Yes, I am much more equivalent to the fruit than the serpent.
Well, who was the serpent that was speaking in Genesis?
I would say it is much closer to man's not really pride, but curiosity and rebellious nature.
I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say there. Uh,
If you put two men in a room, they will eventually find a way to argue.
But that goes back to the pride. Huh?
Yes, largely.
Hmm. So the serpent is just a metaphor for man's pride. It's not an actual speaking serpent.
It is Hebrew story, so I do not pretend to speak for them, but that would be my understanding.
Hmm. And you being the fruit is the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. No?
Yes, there's obviously more than that to me, but that would be the closest.
Many give the name of God in the Bible Yahweh. From my little bit of studying, I find that Yahweh was one of many gods in Canaanite religion back to, I guess, the Sumerians. Is this the case?
Yes, it is. Most of the stories are passed among different people. Some are told differently. That is a prime example of what is the ideas of man.
Hmm. What is the purpose of man?
It is you are part of this experience absence of him.
Absence of him?
Yes, that is what mainly you are here for. Most of everything else that you experience or feel or know is for your benefit, not his.
Hmm. Is there a life after death? As we see death here?
Yes, but what is you will not. It will not be the same. All that is you will be there, but it will not be yours anymore.
Do we come? Do you do we come back as something else?
Sometimes some of you will come back. Sometimes a part of you will come back. Sometimes when something is remade, it is made up of so many that it would not be recognizable.
Is that is it a kind of a curse to come back? Is it
If you consider existing a curse, then maybe. It is not intended that way.
well, some people suffer so much they feel that living is a curse.
Yes, but that is all part of the understanding.
If one does not come back, and what where does one exist, or or,
As
or,
you,
is, or is our existence just a uh, our imagination? Back to the pride and ego, I guess you would say.
yes, you as you are, your identity is a matter of your own imagination.
Mm. If you remember, you were speaking to a gentleman named Michael in Nadia's room.
Yes, Michael. I know Michael.
Yes. Um, he I'm not sharing anything private. He said this in the live hangout. Um, he is struggling with an addiction, and he he asked you because I guess you claim to have some knowledge of the future or communication with Source, and he was asking you about would he overcome his addiction. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I know first he was upset because you said no, but I was kind of understanding that yeah he was going to get over um, the physical addiction, but we never get over suffering, correct?
Yes, but he will always have the feeling for it.
So I wanted to ask you, um, for me, um, is there a message for me from Source? Can you do that for me?
Is there something you wish me to ask, or just do you want me to
Um,
just stare at him and
um, am I on the right path as far? Yeah, I'll ask generally. Am I on the right path?
one moment? You are close. In a matter of a couple of years, you will be.
Is that in regards to a spiritual path or as far as my um, personal life?
Uh, Personal life. Uh, your spiritual path is not so important to him.
Hmm. A little less serious questions, Lucifer. I mean, what does the day in your life look like?
Mostly not so much floating, but existing above you and feeling you.
Hmm. I did want to ask, you posted some pictures on your profile. Is those pictures of you?
Yes, that is when I came in flesh. Michael tempted me to do it, so I asked and I received.
Are you male or female?
In my flesh, you mean?
Hmm.
I am male.
Do you have desires like everyone else?
To be honest, I did not have that much time, so I would say probably I would have.
I I remember Michael asking you about food and about chocolate, and you said you never tried chocolate in 17 billion years.
It did not always exist in that time.
Oh, you mean physically?
Yes.
Oh. Have you been able to listen to music?
Oh, yes. Most recently, I've had a very kind man that goes by the name of Revelation News.
Yes.
He showed me some of your more modern music.
Speaking of, I heard your music for Gretchen. Was that you playing the guitar?
Yes, that was a present.
It was very beautiful. Lucifer is portrayed in the Bible as one of music. Uh,
Yes, but music in the medium is not just noise.
hmm,
I think somewhere it says God spoke, but his speaking is not so basic. and neither is anyone else's.
His speaking is. Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
The speaking is not so basic for as is just sound.
Hmm. Don't know if I'm getting.
The in the medium, movement is as important.
Okay. I'm going to hold off on and other questions, and probably I'll give an opportunity for others in the room if they like to ask a question. For those who are listening, I have Gretchen, Hillary. I have Ruben in the room. He'll have some questions in text. Scott and Seamus. They all come from different beliefs and backgrounds. Who cares to ask a question first of Lucifer? Oh, Scott's got a question. Go ahead, Scott.
So you said that you were 17.4 billion years old, and right now our best scientific estimates put the universe at about 13.8 billion years old. What was going on for that other 3 billion years?
The decision
The decision on what exactly?
on everything.
On how to make the universe?
On, yes, how to make the universe, what was needed, what should happen, how would it happen.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here, Lucifer. I have five questions I have prepared for you. I might not ask them all at once, but I will ask perhaps a couple. I just want to say first and foremost to you and to everyone listening, I'm sure Lucifer's already heard this before, but I'm a professing Christian. I take Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. All right, with all that being said, Lucifer, here's the first question I have for you. You ready?
Yes, please.
All right. First question. What do you think the biggest similarity is between the Christian and atheist community here on Google+.
Their anger for each other.
I love it. I love it. Okay, next question. This is a question from the atheist community. This is a question commonly asked by a lot of the atheists here in the Google Plus community. So the question that the atheists want to know is God evil?
There is no such thing as good or evil. There is only what is needed. I've heard them speak of morality, and they argue for subjective and objective depending on how you define it. But for the ones that think it's objective, how would they even assume that God is evil if it's in that way?
Wow, that's pretty profound. I have definitely engaged in that discussion more times than I should have, and I never really considered it in that light. So I appreciate that light. I have three more questions left, and a few of these the last three questions are a little bit more lighthearted, but not too silly. Question three. What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding most humans have about God?
You are here for him. He is not here for you.
As a Christian theist, I love that answer. Alrighty, two more. Question four. If you could give all people one piece of advice on God, what would that be?
Stop worrying about it so much.
I think Ruben would agree with you there.
All right, that's you heard it, folks. Okay, last question that I have, and then we'll let some of the other guys ask you some questions. This is the last question that I have for right now that's pre-prepared. last question, question 5. What do you think the biggest mistake Christians make here on Google Hangouts?
uh, I have a personal bias in this answer, but I would say blaming everything bad on me.
You do catch a lot of slack from us, I must admit. All right, guys, that's it for me. Go ahead, whoever else has questions. Thank you, Lucifer. I appreciate it.
Good question, Shamus. I just want to go back to Scott for a second because I know he did answer one. Did you have any further questions, Scott? Not this second. Okay. Um, oh, Hillary. I know Hillary's been eagerly waiting all week for tonight. Go ahead.
Yes, my hoof tapping. Can I be heard?
Yes. Before you ask your question, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Have I been as inscrutable as before?
No, I am learning your language. It takes exposure to a new language for me to understand it. I'm a little bit slow that way, but once I get a toehold, like in climbing a mountain, once I get that, then I'm good to go. Does that answer your question?
Oh yes, and I have been trying to work on my English also.
Oh, it's not you. Trust me, it's not you, it's me. I have my own ways of figuring out what other people are saying and why they are saying it, and it's just my own little formula. But I am learning your language, Lucifer.
Then
Go ahead with your question here.
Yes, I was just going to ask, is it okay to ask a question now?
Yeah, sure.
Basically, my question is, why do Christians see you as evil? That's the first part of the question. The second part of the question is, why do they think that you would want to torture people that agree with you for an eternity, you know, the evildoers? Why you would want to do that? It seems like you would just like really like those people and want to throw them a dinner party. So, yeah.
besides what we covered before with the misunderstandings, it is understandable that they think I am out to get them because I am here to test them. I am, for lack of better words, an enemy.
But I guess my question is, and I'm not asking you to crawl in their heads necessarily. I guess I'm asking why they would perceive you that way and why it would make sense that anyone who agreed with you would be tortured for an eternity. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, do you mean hell? It's their idea of
Yes,
hell mostly. Hell does
yes.
not exist. That is
I
entirely.
understand that personally. So I'm just asking how your message could have been so incredibly twisted and badly misinterpreted.
Well, I never sent a message. That would be probably the reason.
Yes, but they think that you did. Again, just a really bad telephone game, apparently.
Did you have any other questions, Hillary?
What is your favorite color?
I would have to say white.
Oh, interesting, because that includes every color that a human being can perceive.
And then some.
And then some. Exactly. Okay, I'm done. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I know Gretchen has quite a few questions, and we'll do a couple, Gretchen, and then I have a couple for those who are listening. Their Q&A area is open, and I will address a couple of those questions. Also, I also know that a couple people have been asking for the link. I will provide an open forum, and just as soon as we get through this questioning, and hopefully also to give chance for Frank to still get in here. So Frank, if you're listening, we do have, there are 3 spots here. I know there was a couple of other invites I sent out as well. Hopefully they got it. So Gretchen, here, if you want to
Okay.
start with a couple of questions.
Okay. Well, anyway, thanks, Lucifer, for coming so that we could ask you questions.
No problem. I like interaction.
And thanks for the music. So, are you the Bishop of Cagliari?
No,
Okay,
not
you're
from
not
my
that one.
understanding.
Not that one, okay. Who is the Queen of the Angels?
I would not say queen, since there is no sex. But Michael tends to be the organizer of things.
Okay, I was going to ask you about Michael and Raphael and Gabriel. Do you want to just say anything about them, or?
Uh, Gabriel is a pain in the butt.
Okay.
Uh,
And Raphael?
Raphael is more worldly. He does not spend much time here with us.
And Michael?
He is more like the parent,
Okay.
almost. Maybe older brother.
Okay. So, as far as humans' confusion over who you are and what you do, will you please explain to everybody that I don't really think that, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that there are no Freemasons or Illuminati that have anything to do with you, but merely their imaginations of you?
But some do.
Okay.
I am in their stories.
Right. But not as one who, that their ideas and that their intentions are negative against humanity.
Not quite sure what you mean. Their stories about me are much closer to what I am.
Sure. Okay. So you said that people call you. That's how it was with Nadia, but you had come to me. So was there a reason why?
No, I felt that you needed me.
Was that to test me?
Not so much. You needed strength.
What is the greatest area of lack of human beings?
Shame.
That we lack shame?
You may experience shame on small scale, but your pride runs away with you.
Okay. What attracts you?
It is it as we were made to find you all very beautiful.
What repels you?
Nothing.
Can you smell scents?
When I am in flesh, there is scent, yes.
When you see women, do you see their babies, who may be later or they've had before?
No, I do not see what is not existing.
On another level, I mean?
Not so much, unless I've experienced them before.
Okay. So you said something about the Torah being out of date as far as the covenant had run out. Um, do you know anything about that you could describe some more? Because that seems contrary to what it says of itself.
Many of the Hebrew turned away from the covenant,
Uh-huh.
and they did not keep their word as it was.
Okay. Should I ask the question over here from Reuven?
Sure, please.
Okay. Lucifer, what do you make of those atheists who depict you as a woman? Is this offensive to you?
No, I have been a woman before.
Thanks a lot.
But to add, I don't much like red dresses.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so many depict Lucifer or devil with horns and a pitchfork and the tail and stuff.
Oh wait, they think of me as goat?
Yeah, that too.
I've never been a goat.
Hmm. Gretchen, you had other questions as well, or because I want to address a couple questions in the Q&A.
Yeah, go right ahead. I went through them all. Thank you.
Brother John, I actually have 3 more short questions prepared if I can go before the Q&A questions.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. I've got 3 pretty quick questions. 2 are kind of serious and one's kind of comical. I'll start with the serious ones and do the comical one last. Okay. So first question of 3: do humans actually have free will?
Yes, you have his free will at your hand.
I love it. I'm a non-Calvinist. I just won there. Okay. Second question. When a person comes to God, is that an act of God bringing them to this conclusion, or one of their own?
It can be many things. Sometimes they do it on their own. Sometimes God sends them what they need to be where they are needed. Sometimes it is me, where I test them into the proper place.
Interesting. I think we're going to have some Calvinists that are going to draw some interesting conclusions from that, to say the least. All right, last question. This is a little bit comical. It's kind of an opinion. I think this kind of sums up the big battle between the atheist and the Christian community. Here we go. If Rancam and Alex Botten got into an arm wrestling match, who would win?
Uh, it would depend. Which style of arm wrestling are you playing?
I have an idea. I think I know the answer to that. I think Lucifer would win if they had that.
No, I would not involve myself in them two. I would say if it was more modern version, I would go with Rancam.
I love it. Alrighty, that's it for me. It looks like I got a lot of the answers I was looking to get there, and go Rancam. Alright, that's it for me.
Thanks, Seamus.
I've got a couple.
Who's that? Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Do you possess anything that we would describe as supernatural power?
Not so much. More of I have feelings sometimes when those that are close to me do things. but mostly most of my abilities come from access, not so much from myself.
Okay. So, where are you right now?
I am sitting somewhere just a little east of Cairo.
Okay. That's all I've got for now.
Okay, Scott, thanks. I had a couple questions by the username Lucia Jennings. Hillary, can you mute your mic? I'm getting a little noise. Thank you. Hillary asks, Lucia asks, is it a necessity of some sort for the faithless to find faith in what you call he?
No, it is not a requirement.
She also asks that you mentioned in a previous chat about the universe and beyond. She was asking, what is beyond?
I mean, beyond out of existence, or just beyond what you would call space?
I'm not sure because I did not hear that part in the chat. Um, she just said that you mentioned beyond the universe and beyond. I guess she quoted you as saying and wanted to know what exactly was beyond the universe.
Well, beyond what you would call existence is everything else that is him. But what is beyond him is best described as absence.
Absence meaning nothing?
Means more than nothing. It means not him and nothing.
That raises another question. So is there anything, so there is something not of source, create, God?
No, there isn't. There is absence.
Absence. Okay. Um, she also asks, you described an afterlife. Do we have a consciousness of who we were on Earth? I guess that kind of relates to the earlier question I asked.
Yes, you know what was you, but you are not you anymore.
But do you have a consciousness of who you were?
You have an awareness. You are much different.
Okay. Um, she also asks, is the passage of time the same in the medium as it is here? Because doesn't you, get bored after 17.4 billion years?
Well, I do get bored from time to time, but there is always more creation.
Um, I like that. Um, Another question is the purpose to think outside own box? I guess she's trying to say, is the purpose to think outside one's own box?
Uh, it is good for you, but it is not necessary. You are already created outside the box.
Um, Seamus was also asking in the chat, he said there was a question from the audience. Can you predict the future? And if so, will there ever be a World War III?
I have no knowledge of what isn't yet, but I can ask. Sometimes I am told.
Please do. if you may.
Okay. It depends on what you consider World War.
Well, I guess the reference we have is from the previous world wars, a number of nations against another number of nations.
Yes, many more times.
So there'll be more than many more world wars.
Yes, you may not realize it, but it is already started.
I believe so in some aspects, especially I would say uh, in financial terms, a financial war.
Partially, but it has more to do with human beings can't breathe water.
They can't read water
Breathe.
or breathe water. Are you saying there's going to be another flood?
Of your own doing.
Hmm. Albert Einstein says that he said one time that uh, I do not know how World War III would be fought, but World War IV would be sticks and stones. Would this be the case?
No, it is, you will never quite manage to snuff yourself out.
Hmm. Um, Seamus, did you have a couple more questions?
Scott does.
Yeah.
Scott, please. Go ahead, Scott. And uh, just quickly, Gretchen, did you have further questions as well?
No.
Okay. So Scott, while you're asking those questions, I am going to. Well, I had a couple more, but go ahead, Scott, and then I'll invite others that want to come into the room.
Is our current scientific understanding of the Big Bang an accurate description of how the physical universe began to exist?
If you were sitting outside the universe watching, I would say yes, but it is far more complicated and different from the inside.
Okay. How is time, or the passage of time, measured in the medium?
The same way it is here. Uh, Action after action. We tend not to keep clocks. We tend to reference what we are interacting with for time.
All right. And so we know that time does not always pass at the same rate in the physical universe due to spatial relativity. How does that apply to the medium?
It works much the same, but we are far closer to infinity than you are.
I'm not sure if I understand what you mean.
As you approach infinity, you get a broader view of what was and what is to be.
All right, that's all we got for now.
All right, I have one more question. This is just in. This is a very, very important question here that we've got. We've got Brett Keane, Pillbox, and Revelation News. They've combined together and sent in a question. It's very profound in nature. It's kind of a deep question, but I'll ask it anyways. Did we really come from fish?
Do you mean like in evolution?
Right.
If you're looking for an original, the fish would not be an original.
Can you expand on that just a little bit?
The universe. I would have to start from the beginning. When God is not working, complexity is required. So when the universe was made, it was made with many of the things you see, like your chemistry. You notice how things react on their own, of their own almost will, might be an appropriate term. Uh, and these are all set up to uh, um, uh, yes, these are all set up to build complexity over time. So as time goes on and the progression of creation happens, you will eventually see individual atoms forming, and then you will see combinations of them form, and then you will see combinations of those combinations form, and then you will eventually get something that is not self-aware, but self-motivated, more so than
Self-replicating?
before. But yes, eventually. In the beginning, these things needed help from others. They worked in combination to gain even more complexity. So to be exact, you came from God, and everything else is just a step to where you are now.
All right, I think that's actually a pretty good answer. I'm gonna have to ponder that, and I think Brett Keane and Pillbox and Revelation, thank you for that. And that's all I have for now.
Thanks, Shamos and Brett and Pillbox. Another lighthearted question. You mentioned Gabriel is a pain in the butt. How so?
The most recent example, in the 80s, he came to Earth and dyed his hair pink. If that gives you an image.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that you reside near Cairo. No?
I do not reside, but that is where I currently am standing.
Okay. Speaking of Cairo, there is some debate about how the pyramids came about. Uh, could you address that? How they were made?
Yes, if it is much words, but I would maybe summary might be okay.
Sure.
Uh, there were many quarries where the stones were cut. Some nearby, but for the pyramids mostly far away. Uh, they would put down impacted sand, and they would spread clay over the sand, and then they would water the clay, much like your slip and slide,
Hmm.
and that would create a almost frictionless environment to push stones on. They would
So
take them to boats and then travel them upriver or downriver, depending.
I've heard that the Nile might have been closer to where the pyramids are now before. Would that be the case?
Yes, there was much closer. In fact, it was not more than few steps from pyramids now.
Hmm. Seamus asks a question kind of related because some believe that the pyramids were created by uh, life that is not here on Earth. Is there life in the universe besides us on Earth?
Oh yes, there is more than a handful.
Will we be any time in the future? Will we have communication with anyone, or have we already? Some say we have already secretly.
Though you have not, but it is possible you are not too far from a few others.
Hmm. I want to welcome Nadia and Fiction Fighter into the room. Either of you have, I'm sure you have a question.
Well, yes. You mentioned you came to, I guess, Hangouts to, I guess, seek me out in some ways. Is it, given your profile picture and some of your other statements, would it be related to, I guess, my own gender transition and so on?
Uh, Not specifically. That was to be sympathetic. It is more of your uh, delusion that you don't want to live.
Yes, I have a few questions. Lucifer.
Oh yes, the bouncy ball.
Why do I bounce so much? Do you really think you're Lucifer?
Not a matter of think, but yes.
Okay, so you truly believe that you are Lucifer.
It's not a matter of belief, but yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Or do you know it all?
I know some. Define all.
Everything there is to know.
Most definitely not.
Then you can't be Lucifer.
Why would you assign such powers to me if you don't know me?
I don't know you.
Then
You're a fictional character.
How do you know what I can do and what
How do
I
you know that?
Is that a knowledge claim?
Is that really funny fiction?
Are you capable of lying, Lucifer?
Hold on a second here. Okay. One rule of my Hangouts is that we will have a civil discussion. Okay. Otherwise, I will ask you to leave. If not, you will be booted. Just to let you know, Larry. Okay. So, Fiction, you wanted to proceed with the question?
Yes, please. I mean, as I know it sounds funny when I'm asking, but I am asking genuinely here. I'm sorry, I can't help but laughing. Where was I?
You were asking me how could I not know if I was him? Yes. That was your last question, and
And did you answer it?
yes, I said, why would you prescribe powers to me if you do not know me?
I didn't prescribe you any powers, did I?
Yes, you said that if I were Lucifer, I would know all.
If. That's not prescribing you any powers. That's not acknowledging
Yes, it
you
is.
as Lucifer. That's just saying if.
You're saying that if I was, I would know everything. That is giving me powers that I do not have.
Well, I'm assuming that if you existed, and if Gabriel existed, and if God existed, anything that's not in our dimension would know everything about our dimension. Correct?
Do you understand that is your assumption?
Yeah, of course.
Then I think you have your answer.
I do?
Yeah.
How do you summate that?
Well, how am I to answer for things that are not as you believe them to be?
Because facts are facts whether I believe them to be or not.
Yes, but you do not know the facts. And if I gave you the facts, you would not think they were facts.
Ooh, that's deep. And guess what? You know what I think? You know what I think? Really, honestly? Can I ask you, are you not? Wait a minute. I asked you first, are you capable of lying?
Yes, I am plenty capable of lying.
Then my next question is irrelevant then. Because I was going to ask you, are you really Suberus?
No.
Oh,
I
you
am
took,
not a
you took
dog.
my question away.
A lot of people do think, or some people do think that you are super.
You enjoy mocking God.
Was
Oh, what do you,
that me or her?
yeah. Who was that for, Rev?
Yeah, that was Rev.
That's for you.
That's for me. Ooh.
Yep.
Is that
Your
Lucifer speaking
laugh
to the
is
Rev?
weak. Your laugh is weak.
Oh, it's weak, eh? Oh.
Yeah, Fiction,
You think so, eh?
Fiction, you do assume that Lucifer knows all, and I'm presuming you get this idea, which I don't get it at all from Scripture. How do you assume that Lucifer knows all?
Oh, I don't assume. I'm not assuming anything.
Okay.
Because like I said, I started out my questioning as if.
Hmm.
That's not me assuming anything.
Yes, it is. You're assuming that if I was something, there would be another quality.
According to the scripture, but that's where I was coming from as far as what I read about the character Lucifer.
Lucifer, what do you believe about Jesus?
I believe he is necessary for some.
Was it necessary for if this in fact happened? Was well, I guess that would be the question. So I'm assuming you're saying that Jesus Christ, the one that we know, did exist.
Yes, that was one of his fleshes, yes.
Was he actually crucified, and did he actually rise from the dead?
No, but he was burnt.
Burned. Burned in Gehenna?
You mean the garbage pit?
Yes.
Yes, he was thrown there.
Hmm. I
He
assume as
was
well too if the story happened.
he was removed after a couple days. What was left.
Why why would he, source God, allow the stories of the Bible to persist if it causes so much controversy for a couple of thousand years?
Well, your controversy is not a high priority.
He
That goes
died for
back
you as
to
well, Lucifer. He died for
that,
you as well.
Hold on, Eric. Hold on, Eric. Right? That's your name, Revelation. Okay. Hold on a second. Go ahead,
Who
Luke.
is Eric?
Oh, I thought you were Eric. I'm sorry. Revelation. Yeah. If you can hold on. Go ahead, Lucifer.
yeah, as I was saying, your controversy is not such high priority for him. Everything is as is needed, and when it is not as needed, it will be burnt away after.
So is this a matter of he allowing for free will, as we perceive free will? Is this a way for him to allow that to happen? To allow
Yes, without free will, it would not be possible to understand absence.
Jesus and you are brothers, Lucifer.
In a loose sense, yes.
If that's the case, I'm your sister, Rev.
one of the reasons I call myself Brother John is that I do believe that, and I know that Christians would disagree here, but I do believe we're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah, just different brains, development levels.
I pray for universalism to be true.
We know that.
Mm.
What Lucifer, what would be let me before I ask that question. You did mention that you are capable of lying. How do we know that you're not haven't been lying in all this questioning?
Well, you do not have the ability to know, but that would be entirely up to you.
My other question would be, what would be the single most important message for us?
Other than pride, to be diminished.
Brother John, your wife already knows it.
I don't know what that means, but
Beyond pride, I would say stop taking every argument as it is life-threatening.
Yeah, we all take ourselves way too seriously, don't we?
Nadia wants to speak. Let Nadia go.
And the question's about you. Lucifer, you said you found other people who need you on Google Plus. I think you said Revelation was one of them.
No, he does not need me, but he has helped me.
Well, who else would you say you're here for besides me?
The Michael and Christian, mostly. Some Gretchen, some Lucia.
Okay. Would you be willing to say what you think that you're helping them with?
I do not think they would appreciate me saying.
Okay, that's all right too.
I have an interesting question from John May. He wants to know, is Lucifer going to write a book for the humans?
I do not, I would love to, but I do not believe it would be received very well.
Why did Rev leave the chat? Did he run away with his tail between his legs?
I love that answer, Lucifer.
I said something on the side that what he had said was uncalled for.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, Fiction Fighter, you are a very cruel person.
No. Why do you say that?
You have done nothing but be cruel since you came into him.
Oh, he blasted at me as I came in and insulted my laughing. That's me being cruel, right?
You don't understand his feelings. If you were aware of his feelings, you wouldn't have laughed.
I laugh at everything. That keeps me young. I like to find humor in everything.
That may be good for you, but that is prideful and very self-centered.
Oh no, I'm far from self-centered.
Well, speak of it with your action and not just of your words.
Are you giving me a slap there, Lucifer?
No, I'm giving you a hand. Up. Not so much slap.
What actions do we carry out on Google Plus besides speaking words?
Well, speaking words like I mean walk the walk.
Right.
You can say that you're caring, but then you don't always speak as if you are.
Exactly what was so cruel about my laughing? Refresh my memory here.
It was not understanding of his feelings.
And what feelings did he express? Because all I ever hear him is preaching.
I've known him not to preach many times. In fact, the last time I was in a hangout with him, he was quite pleasant and accommodating.
Oh, he's not always.
Is anyone?
Exactly. We all have a bit of cruelty in us. Kids are the cruelest. Go hang out in the play yard.
Yes, but they do not know better.
Are we not all kids at heart?
You may remain children at heart if you desire it, but I would not desire it for you.
You sound too intense. Too intensely serious. That
So
drives
this
someone
is
that drives someone insane sometimes, you know?
That is not of much problem, really.
What do you do for fun, Lucifer?
Right now, mostly talking to people.
That's it?
Yes.
How much longer, Lucifer, will you be on the Google Hangouts? Is there a limited time for you?
I was told I would have a limited time, but I have already been granted more time than was first told, so I am unaware.
Well, we certainly covered, I think, a lot of bases. And I would hate to have dead air. Does anyone have any other questions? Surely someone must have a question.
If go ahead.
No, it's okay, Nadia. Go ahead.
Well, if let's say the people you are trying to help, you know, got what you thought they needed, would that be your cue to sign off, or is it even less event-driven or less clear?
It is a matter of maybe cost effectiveness is not the right word, but there can only be so much done in a period of time. So I would not have unlimited time, no.
In regards to, you were mentioning something about testing at one time. Is it a manner maybe of more like helping to build that strength for the person who requires that strength, like almost a coach, but
Yes, it is two functions. Some are much closer to being strong enough to be on their own, and I will work them towards that goal. And some are not able to be on their own, and then I work them and test them towards Christ.
so the people who have devoted themselves to Christ previously, even with that, that does not seem to deter.
No.
Do you mind? Do you mind when we spit in your eye when we are baptized?
Since it's metaphorical, no. I would probably care more if it wasn't so metaphorical.
Was that it, Gretchen?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Chaz, welcome to the room. And
Hey, bro, Joe.
how you doing? Lucifer, if you don't know Chaz, Chaz, I'm going to ask you to try to be nice. I know you could be abrasive at times, but do you have some questions for Lisa?
I do. What would you rather fight, a duck-shaped horse or a horse-shaped duck?
Probably a duck-shaped horse.
Okay,
Horses
that's
tend to
good.
be nicer than ducks.
If you choke a Smurf, what colour does it go?
If they are blue, I would say blue.
So they wouldn't turn in different colours. They just stay blue.
Probably.
What kind of questions are these there, Chaz?
I don't know. If you've got the wealth of knowledge there, you might as well ask him some good ones.
How
can
much wood
ponder-
would a wood? How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
As much as he could chuck between sunrise and sunset.
Just as much as a woodchuck could chuck would. There's the answer for that.
Awesome.
You're quite quick-witted, Lucifer. I guess you've had lots of time for practice.
Yes, many years sitting and thinking.
Lucifer, what's the stupidest question you ever heard?
Someone asked me if they should have red hair. It seemed a waste of their own time.
Yeah,
What-
it's vanity, isn't it?
Yes, and they were far too dark for red hair.
That's racist.
What if I asked you for bigger boobs? Should I get bigger boobs?
I
I
could
would
use
say no. You would have much back problem.
What about
Very
me?
correct.
I could use them.
What,
Oh.
fiction's boobs?
You want my boobs there, girl? I
Yeah,
don't need 'em.
transfer them over.
I would if I could.
Lucifer, what would be the fiction next? What's the most stupid question there was? What would be the most important question for one to ask?
Yes, that was the next one. Yep.
It would depend on what you wanted. Maybe. It seems like most people are interested in when will it all be over.
Lucifer, who would win in a fight between you and Jesus? If you have a knife and Jesus has a stick.
I would not want to fight Christ, and he would not be able to fight me, so it would be draw.
Okay, what if he has 2 sets of nunchucks and you have a fork? Who would win?
I think the same.
Oh, I got a question.
Okay.
How is it some people can accept the evolution theory, that fact of evolution, and also believe in an invisible deity with no evidence? How is that possible?
Will you hear when I gave explanation of if you came from fish or not?
No, I wasn't here for that.
It is one coherent line from God's creation to where you are now.
So God did it. Is that what your answer is?
Yeah, it is much more complicated than that, but yes.
I disagree, of course, but anyhow, I want to know what your answer was.
I have a theory. Could it be both creation and evolution? Could not he set things in motion and then things evolved?
Were you here for when I gave explanation?
You're funny. Yeah. Okay.
The building of rules, maybe, of the universe, where complexity breeds more complexity.
Mm.
And through every step becomes more complex to where you eventually end up with you. And, well, there's more to it than that, but that's where you are now.
when you say people ask you when it will end, what will end are they asking about?
So many things. I was generalizing, but the biggest one would be, when is existence over?
So what is your ultimate goal there, Lucifer? In all this talk?
I do not have goal. In this talk specifically.
In general.
In general, I've only been given a, as you would say, journey. Not really goal.
You would say what?
Journey?
Journey.
I have function, and that is ongoing.
Lucifer, do people really sell their soul to you?
I have met a few that have tried, but I have no pockets.
Well, how much is the going rate for a soul, and who's a buyer in the grand scheme of things?
There is no buyer, but there's really no such thing as souls. But most people who play country music are the most common provider.
Wow, I agree with you there, and there is no such thing as a soul.
Country music.
Oh, you're talking.
Well, maybe if you're
genre.
ginger.
I am ginger, in fact.
I had a question about politics.
Oh, this may be the first I've received. Please.
What do you do during elections?
The elections of which country, you mean? Which country
Any
do you
in
mean?
particular, when there are people who are voting, or if there are people who are trying to campaign, what do you do while they're doing those things?
Unless I am required to do something, I usually don't even realize it's happening.
So there's no direct reaction of you, per se.
No, your politics is of your own creation. It is not much of our concern.
Okay.
Lucifer, who would you rather have sex with, Margaret Thatcher or Susan Boyle?
Come on, Chaz.
I would not know, because I have no sex.
Okay, which one of them is the better looking?
By which standard?
By your standard.
I do not have standard.
You don't have
Lucifer,
any standards, so you'd go for both of them.
do you masturbate?
I have not which to masturbate with.
Lucifer, would you sing a song for Jello Shots?
Who is Jello Shots?
He's somebody we all know.
No.
I've sang for you.
Oh, would you like to sing something for Lucifer, Gretchen?
No, but I mean, he's going to play for me. I sang for him. So at least he likes music.
Oh, maybe a little collaboration. That'd be nice. All right. Lucifer, I want to ask you, what is your accent?
That is what is from the language of the birds.
Language of the birds.
Are you saying you speak like a chick?
Chaz, you are a very great worker for the devil, not Lucifer.
Revelation, you are a batshit insane human being.
Oh. All right, listen. We're going to save the banter for off air. Okay.
It's not banter when it's my honest opinion.
Yeah, no.
The truth.
Try to keep it
Lucifer, at
try to
any
keep
point...
for live, for the live audio, for the recording. So. But go ahead, Chaz.
Lucifer, at any point in the future, will G-Man and Beckel realise they're actually just gay for each other and just fucking get it over with?
Shut up, idiot.
All right.
Shut
I'm,
up! Bugger
I'm,
off.
Hillary wants to talk. Hillary had her hand up.
okay, I'm gonna mute both you guys, and I'm giving you both a fair warning right now. Okay. Next.
I can answer that question if he truly wishes to know.
I do.
Okay.
They are not homosexual.
Oh, come on. Have you not seen the comic book? I think there's a little bit of 50 Shades of Grey between them.
You're too much, Chaz.
Not even, is there any moment they get like curious in the shower together or anything? I'm sure something happens.
They have both been curious.
You heard it from Lucifer's mouth.
I heard it right from his mouth, yes.
We now know what the G stands for in G-Man.
Hillary, you had another question?
May I speak?
Sure. Yes, you may.
Please, everyone.
We're losing you. We lost your connection there, Hillary. She might have to reload. Hopefully she'll be able to get back in the room.
Lucifer, what do you think about Chaz?
I think he can be well, it was said to be abrasive, but I think he can be inappropriate to some people.
Basically, you're trying to say I'm awesome. I'm one of your peeps.
No, you are not of angelic source?
Hillary, you back in?
Well, that's just rude. Sure,
You know
you're
what
an
I think
angel
is
and not
rude?
fairy.
You know what I think is rude, Chaz? That you would presuppose that you are God.
Well, your mum told me I was, so I took her word for it.
Yeah, my mom's dead.
Jason, do not fall for the bait.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Hillary, did you have another question for Lucifer?
It wasn't really a question. I just want to explain how I see the universe, which explains why I am an atheist.
I want to hear that.
I see that what other people's definition of God is, in like a boiled down way,
Oh, we lost you again, Hillary.
is the and when I look at the cosmos and all of the pictures that we now can see, because it's like we are the cosmos becoming aware of itself. Now that we can see pictures, just tiny, tiny little snapshots of what our physical universe that we live in is constituted of, I see macrocosm and microcosm. I see that the small reflects the large. I see that the atom reflects solar systems and galaxies and blah, 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 blah. And for me to look at this fucking amazing three-dimensional universe that we live in and translate that cosmos as a dude who gets really pissed off when these tiny little atoms in his body don't believe in him, that he's going to send them to an eternal hell. It's like I don't see the cosmos doing that. I don't see the cosmos as perceiving that in any way. It's just really bizarre and twisted. And so, of course, I think that that is a projection of fear in an animal that has no way of translating fourth dimension information coming to him, and is just like desperately grasping for some story to explain it. So yeah, now I'm done.
Okay, I just if Lucifer wants to comment on that, again, I would say it seems when we do have this discussion about God, it always seems to be again the perception of the Judeo-Christian one, and it might be something a bit bigger than that. Lucifer,
I
do
was
you?
just explaining why I'm an atheist, because the vast majority of theists are Christian or, you know, Abrahamic in nature. So that is why I classify myself as an atheist, because I think that Yahweh is just ridiculous.
Hillary, what happened before the singularity?
Hold on. Lucifer, did you want to comment anything to Hillary on what you said?
Yes, I think I've spoken with her about similar things before, so I won't recover that for her, but I will say that most atheists are more Christian than they would like to be.
I agree with you. And
Same here.
I agree with you. I see everyone sort of on a spectrum, and the people who aren't really quite sure where they land need extra energy to, like, you know, push them over to one side because they feel like they need to make a decision one way or the other. And as you know, we are animals, and pack animals, unfortunately. So it's like, you know, the more people that you can bring over to the way that you're thinking, the more it validates your way of thinking. And that's how I see this whole atheist theist argument. I think it's all completely ridiculous. I am not tribal in any way. I have complete respect for those who have religious beliefs. I understand why they have them. The only ones that I really take to task are the ones who are doing it for selfish, egotistical reasons. And, you know, the pimps and the psychopaths, I will go after them, and they will pay the price. But the ones who are just, you know, trying to grasp onto something for some kind of understanding, it's like, I'm not going to fucking hit those people. And I don't understand anyone who would do that, because when you're in transition of any belief, you are a child, and it's like, who would fucking hit a child?
I would not describe them as children, but the faith is there for those that need it. Any problem that comes from that are from the ones that are too strong for faith. They tend to take control of the others.
And I beg to differ on the note that you say that atheists are more Christian. Say that again. Than we want to accept?
Yes. Much like you perceived me to be Lucifer as in the Holy Bible, other than possibly someone other than the Christian belief of character.
Yeah, imaginary character. That's what I think. Everything in that Bible is imaginary. And the more we accept that we are a product, the more we accept that we are a byproduct of evolution, then I would say that's a less, like, we're more animalistic than we are Christian, for sure. Because animals don't worship any imaginary characters.
You are showing your dogmatism in that and
Yes.
clearly not understanding the discussion.
It's not dogmatism. It's a defense. I'm rejecting the idea that we are more Christian than we want to admit.
Look up dogma.
Hey, Lucifer,
Oh,
I have a question.
Please.
How tall was Jesus Christ in the measurement of Carson's?
Oh God.
What is
Give
Carson?
me a break.
It's roughly around about 8 inches per Carson.
Shut up, man.
Seriously?
Shut up.
So I had a question that sort of piggybacks on what Hillary asked.
Jason, please calm down. You're not helping your situation here, okay?
No, this guy, Chaz World, is an absolute
It's Chaz World. Learn to talk.
Reprobate.
Why do you
I had my reprobate check the other day at the
anyone-
doctor's. He had both hands on my shoulders.
Jason,
I'm sorry.
okay, Chaz, shut the fuck up for a second.
I'll shut up, Hillary. I'm sorry. Hillary,
No,
I'll
no,
shut up.
don't shut up. I'm not telling you to shut up.
Guys,
What I am telling you is that you should not allow any other entity to control your emotions to that degree.
yes.
Thank you.
So I'd like to ask a question that piggybacks on what Hillary was saying.
Yes, you can, Gretchen. And,
Okay.
No, I have much patience, and I've already given a warning to Rev and Chaz. If we can kind of keep the line of questioning kind of on the serious side. I mean,
Chaz is a provocateur. That's what he does. Just understand that, Jason,
Oh,
okay?
you don't even know me, Hillary, so shush.
For the sake.
Oh. Shush.
Deny that you're a provocateur, and everyone
Hillary,
will
I'm
fucking laugh,
kidding you.
okay?
Hillary, please. This is
So
about
there-
all three.
Well, I do provoke some
Okay.
people, but they're morons.
Hey,
So-
Chaz, shut up. Shut up, Chaz.
Don't fall for the bait, Jason. Just don't do it.
He sounds like he needs medication.
All right, Gretchen, you had a question?
Sure. There was a description that Hillary was saying in terms of if a person knows where they are, then if they're pushed from one direction or another, for them to make a decision. Is that something that Lucifer encourages in some sort of ways?
Oh,
that
awesome.
That is, as I said before, one of my main functions is to move people to where they are best suited.
Okay. And then in terms of being accusatory, do you think that it is the people are more fearful of that per se than the actual answer of what is the truth?
Most of their fear comes from their misunderstanding, but yes, it is, I would say, more from the gut reaction of the accusation.
So why is it that I would say I'm far worse than I think that you could ever describe of me?
I would say that you may be appropriately hard on yourself.
Was that it, Gretchen?
I'm not sure I understand that last part.
So people do not, well, while it is possible, people are more honest in their own heads than with other people.
But you said too much, so that's where I've lost you there.
I'm not. Could you repeat your question then? I'm not sure where.
I said that I don't think that I'm more fearful of what you could say about me because I would think of myself, I think, far worse. But you're saying that that is accurate or not?
You're saying that you are worse than I could accuse you of being, correct?
I'm not sure which, that's why I was asking.
I could accuse many of many things. It is my accusations are not always true. I make accusations as they are needed.
Does that answer your question, Gretchen?
Thank you.
I had a question here from David Harrings in the Q&A. Again, if anyone has questions before we wrap it up here live, you can put them in the Q&A or put them in the comments. I try to get to them. But David Harrings wants to know, Lucifer, if your mother is Eos, spelled E-O-S. I'm not aware of that term.
Neither am I, unless he's referring to the place of absence. It is in some ways similar to womb.
Woo?
Place of absence is in some ways similar to womb or
Woo.
woman.
Oh, okay. We had Jason coming here, but I guess he popped out. John May has I guess, kind of a comical question. He wanted to know, when you blow a candle out, where does the flame go?
The reaction stops. It does not vanish or move.
And Lucia, you were mentioning earlier that Gabriel was a pain in the butt because of
His attitude would be most of it.
Okay.
I have one.
Sure, go ahead, Nani.
What would you accuse me of?
I would have accused you of wanting to live but acting like you don't.
I have to mute my mic. Sorry.
Did anybody, before I wrap up the live broadcast, did anybody have any other questions? Like I'm more on the
Yeah, I had one. Do
Hey.
you have a specific, or is it just individual reaction if you see people who are crying?
It largely depends on the person itself, so it would be more about them than about me. Does that make sense to you?
Sure, thanks.
If I were to come across you or some other angel or other being in human form just on the street or something, is there any way that I would recognize you without you telling me?
Not normally, no. Sometimes we are not as quiet as we should be. Have anyone here heard our sounds from the sky?
Sure.
That would be the most common chance you would have to know that we are around.
Do you mind that people make jokes about their exes as being who you were or are? Like a person of a past relationship. My ex was such and so.
Not so much, but it is not productive or helpful to anyone.
Well, what if the person began the relationship to think that that person was that way and then not again?
I don't think I quite understand you. I thought you were talking about
Yes, I was.
name
So
calling?
then, no, not exactly. But okay, so then what if it's the reverse, that someone begins a relationship because they think that a person is, quotes, evil or of the devil or something, but then that changes, as opposed to looking at a person and thinking that they're a fine person, what have you, and then at the end to say, oh, well, they were evil all along and I just didn't face it.
So yes, it is. It is just not productive. It is largely meaningless to anything that is important.
So what would be of greater importance that you would want us to focus on?
As far as in that particular instance, I would focus on the removal of them from your life if they were that bad, and not so much what happened. If they'd done something so wrong to you to leave them, it is best to let wounds heal than to leave them open.
Hmm. I had one last question. I think it should be my last question. Lucifer, can you tell me something about me that only I know?
I do not think so, no.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is um, I'm trying to get where, how far your knowledge goes, or how intimate, or, well, what I'm trying to say. Kind of, I guess, asking you to read my mind, in a way.
I do not have magic, but I could, over a short period of time, become closer.
So you can't tell me something that I would only like.
No, I would have to come to you and then observe you.
Okay. Lucifer, I want to thank you for taking the time for this interview. And thanks for coming by. I don't know if I know we drew a ton of questions. I don't know if you had any questions for anyone here.
Not that any I would think they would want me to ask here.
I'm an open book. You can ask anything.
I mean, yeah, I like to press it.
Well, it's not a matter of you letting me press it. It's more of a matter of what would be good for them.
So it would not be good for them. Then.
I would like, now that I'm thinking about it, ask if fiction would speak with me more personally later.
Are you open to that fiction?
It appears she has written yes, she would.
Oh, okay.
So it was written.
Okay.
Yes, as it was written.
Well, again, thanks, Lucifer. It was very interesting. Probably one of the most intriguing and thought-provoking hangouts I've had. So I want to definitely thank you for your time. I want to
Yes,
thank
but
everyone who came in and with their questions.
I do
And
not want to cut you off, but before we go,
sure.
I have had a few exchanges with a Brett King,
Yes.
and I have seen him leave uh, terrible sayings of other people, calling them less than human and garbage. And when I confront him and wish him to come speak with me, he deletes his comment and ignores it. I would like to speak with him more personally later also, if he's listening.
Okay. Well, if he's listening, Brett, you've heard the invitation from Lucifer. I'd like to speak with you personally. Any closing remarks or oh well, I have Chocolate Rainbow came into the room. Hey Chocolate, before I close it up here, did you have any questions for Lucifer? Chocolate? Oh, Chocolate left. Okay.
I
Well,
have one
okay.
question.
I hope it's a good one.
It is. It's one I've always wondered. Out of all of the 12 apostles, which one would win in a fist fight?
There were only two, and I would say probably Judas.
There you go. Lucifer, did you want to close with anything before I take it off broadcast? And again, we'll be staying, off air if anybody wants to hang around. Do you have anything closing to say?
Not really, but if this Chocolate Rainbow had a question, I would be more than happy to answer it in text.
It seems he came in and then he just left.
Yeah, just in case he's having a problem with his computer. I would be happy to answer his question outside of this.
Okay. But once again, thank you and everybody for listening. This has been another rendition of God Talk. Don't forget to join the God Talk community if you want to further the discussion. And once again, thanks Lucifer and thanks for everybody for their time.